Did either one of you drink Surge back in the
Yes.
day?
Yes, I once drank Surge at a sleepover at my friend Jacob's house uh, to stay up all night.
Did it work?
Nice.
It should have
Yeah,
worked.
it did work. It worked for me and Jacob. It did not work for my friend Richard, and we ended up drawing on his face.
Caffeine has weirdly never hit me hard.
Really?
Yeah, like I remember a time in college where my roommate, who God was a dick, I really hated that guy.
Most
We had
roommates are
some,
dicks, right?
yeah, he had some movie night with all of his friends that came over, and sitting in my bed and doing all sorts of shit, and I didn't want any part of it. But he's like, "Hey, we brought Red Bulls."
Oh God.
I was like, "Okay, I've never had one. Well, sure, I'll take one." So I had a Red Bull, and then I was like, "Hey, I'm feeling a little tired," and I immediately went to bed. And he's like, What? You just had a Red Bull?" I was like, "So?" He's like, "It's an energy drink. You're gonna be you're gonna be up." I was like, Not feeling it. I'm gonna go to bed." And then I immediately went
Sleepy
to bed
Chase.
and
I
felt
call him
nothing.
Sleepy Chase.
Sleepy Chase.
Must be. I don't know.
Little
But
Rat
yeah,
Chase.
caffeine's just never. I've never felt wired.
No, I certainly have. I took some no-dos when I was in high school, I think, or around that age.
Trucker candy?
And I really got I was jittery. It was very uncomfortable. Yes,
Yeah.
Bobby, truck candy.
I
But yeah, like Chase, yeah, I like until I started taking Adderall, I could drink. I'm drinking caffeine right now, so I probably won't go to bed early tonight. But like I could, like right up until I went to bed, I could drink it, and it just would not keep me from being able to fall asleep.
I'm the same way. Like I need it to wake up, but if I have it late at night, it's not going to do a whole lot to keep me up. I brought up Surge because I was thinking about fond memories. We had the Surge taxi cab in my shithole hometown
You did?
quite often, and that thing was fucking awesome.
Because they just gave out Kansas Surge.
It gave out Kansas Surge, but if you've never seen it, look it up.
East Centralia kids.
It looks like it's out of fucking. It's a Surge can color, but it's from like Crazy Taxi. It's really fucking cool. It looks like the off-putting sounds.
It's just really good branding. Like the colors are great. Like the big red splash on the
it's awesome.
It perfectly conveys what it is.
Oh yeah,
for kids who are watching Nickelodeon at the time, which I absolutely was.
God.
And you get like the gack stuff and the slime,
100%.
All that, the stuff that's in your face like that. It hit on all of those cylinders, and
it did.
I wasn't a big like Mountain Dew or even Surge fan. Like I didn't really like the drinks that much. I mean, I thought the colors were cool.
You know who drank Surge? Sonic the Hedgehog.
I believe that.
Mario drinks RC Cola.
Surge and a chili dog.
Mario does not drink RC Cola.
Mario does drink RC Cola.
Mario drinks Coke.
Mario drinks Coke. Absolutely, Mario drinks Coke.
Luigi is the one that drinks RC Cola.
I think Luigi drinks Pepsi.
Luigi drinks ski.
Something even dumber. Luigi drinks Squirt or something like that.
I thought that was Toad. I thought
Fresca.
Toad drinks Squirt.
Princess Peach drinks Arizona tea.
You think?
Yeah.
That feels like too much. Like the cans are too big. I think she'd be like a LaCroix.
Oh, she is a LaCroix. She's definitely a LaCroix.
Yeah. What does Bowser drink?
Fucking Ghost energy drinks.
Yeah.
He drinks fucking Zins. Just gives him a path. Him and Tucker Carlson are just hot swapping fucking Zins.
Jesus Christ.
This is good. I like this. This is a fun new game. What's the Donkey Kong drink?
He drinks a banana smoothie.
Well,
no, he drinks coconut water, obviously.
Yeah. Are you coconuts?
Right,
of course he does.
Because Donkey Kong absolutely has a house full of coconuts. That's his whole MO, right?
Toad just drinks 5-hour energies.
He doesn't want to be stereotyped. So he drinks the coconut water.
He's like, I eat.
No,
you know what?
He knows the moment someone sees him drinking a banana smoothie, he's like, oh, I bet you love it.
It's chocolate milk. He drinks chocolate milk.
It's a race thing. That's what I hear.
Exactly.
God. Cut it out.
You're a gorilla, so you must love bananas.
Well, speaking of bananas, it is May 1st, 2024.
Fuck.
This is episode 373 of the Casual Hour, and we've got video games to tell you about. Finally, we're going to
I
let you
think the
know.
title's too long, but you're a gorilla. You must love bananas.
Oh, God.
It's kind of
Ugh.
considering it. We'll see.
Ugh.
I'm sure we'll come up with something shorter.
So we've got a hell of a show tonight. We're going to tell you about the games that we thought would be good in April, and we're going to tell you about the games we think will be worth checking out in May. But we are going to show you and tell you some of those Game Pass games and PlayStation Plus. But before we do all that, we got to check in with each other and see what we've been playing. And I think there's some cool new shit to talk about. And I can't wait to hear some of these hot.
Some new shit. Let's not say words we can't take back like cool.
Okay. Well, with that, Johnny,
Yo.
what have you been playing recently?
Oh man.
What censored video games? have
God
you been
damn it,
playing
Chase.
recently?
Let me speak.
He's been fucking.
Oh, I'm
sitting on
sorry
that
for
one.
censoring you.
Just think you
Oh
did.
my
You did.
God.
Can you just-
If
can
only
you just-
somebody would hashtag free Johnny Amazich.
That's right. I need to. Someone start a petition. Someone start a change.org petition.
Ice clown loses ice crown. Ice down.
Yes. Johnny, you became everything you hate, right?
Yeah.
No, Celebrate's actually a pretty cool game.
I hear it's fine.
Yeah, it there's been a lot of really stupid bullshit happening surrounding this game.
Haven't noticed.
But
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about
Yeah,
you playing.
I don't know.
Being stupid shit surrounding this game.
yes,
Hmm.
that also. So yeah, Stellar Blade came out last week. The game that was going to end our long woke national nightmare.
Yeah, the
And-
wokes would crumble as soon as
and-
they saw these anime titties.
I am finding it to be a competent action game with fun
Yeah.
combat that is engaging, and you're pulling off cool combos, and there's some interesting enemy design. The boss encounters I've had so far have been varied and challenging, but not like overly
Would I like this
punitive.
game?
No.
Okay.
Is this, where is this on the Dark Souls scale?
This is more of a Sekiro, so it is very much about timing.
People will
parries.
say sexiero.
Yes.
I don't think people are saying that.
That's not the new title, but yes.
Okay.
So yeah, you play as Eve, who is a human soldier, who has this exosuit that just happens to
that's what we're calling.
cling to her body, and
Yeah, you'll be ashamed of your words and deeds once you learn why she has the exosuit on.
is that true?
No, I'm just doing the Kojima quiet.
Is it the quiet thing? And yeah, so you're wielding a sword, and you are unlocking skills that are mapped to the face buttons. I think even the parry button is the same as it is in Sekiro. Maybe it's swapped. I can't remember. But it's L1. If you time it to a perfect parry, it does a riposte, and then you can go in for an attack. Or if you time a dodge just right, you can get a perfect dodge.
Any
go in
range?
for an attack. No, not that I've seen so far. There are
How far are you into it? At this point?
a couple hours, 2-3 hours, something like that. I've had one big boss fight that I've done, and I'm in the second or third area. It's fairly linear so far. The story is kind of whatever. I can tell they're absolutely going for a near thing, but I do not think that they have the narrative chops.
I've heard
to-
people say it tries too hard to be that.
Yeah, like when you're out in the world, it's playing music that you're like, this sounds well. I think they got the person that made near music to make at least a couple of tracks for Stellar Blade. Like they have not hidden the fact that this game was very, very influenced by.
Sure.
Like they've been very open about that. I like, I'm not faulting them for that. The story is just not as interesting to me as the one in Nier was. But-
a game you didn't finish near.
I finished it once.
That's not finishing it.
I know. Listen, maybe someday. If the combat in Nier was as fun as it is in Stellar Blade, I would absolutely play more Nier. Because I feel, to me, it's more engaging
Okay.
and
I
fun.
had a pretty good time with the combat.
I'm surprised there's not been another one of those games.
Talk to Yoko Taro, man.
They're keeping Yoko Taro in a closet somewhere.
Yeah.
He got to make a Final Fantasy 14 dungeon.
But yeah, like as far as it being a video
they did
game,
make a Nier mobile game, and then
They did.
it was a gacha game. And then they ripped all the gacha stuff out of it because it didn't do very well.
Okay.
So there is more Nier stuff. I don't know what Yoko Taro specifically.
yeah, I feel like that's something we'll get someday. I hope. I should probably finish that first one before anything else. So yeah, like the game itself, it came out, and I say that like 7, 8. I think that's right around where this game would fall.
Cool.
I'm gonna keep playing it because
Which outfit are you wearing right now?
I just have the one. Well, no, I have two. One is the skin suit, which just makes me feel uncomfortable.
That's too bad.
God. Skin
And then
suit. Okay, Buffalo Bill.
That's what they call it. It's called the skin suit.
Don't hurt my dog.
The lotion in the basket. But let me tell you, I bet there are a lot of fucking losers that have bottles of lotion next to their PS5 while they're playing
you
this
just
shit.
need to go to the change.org and watch the videos of
Oh my god.
There's videos of her changing?
That's the other part of this. Is
No. There are some deeply disturbed young men who,
yeah,
You don't
have
say.
submitted videos to the change.org.
people who have
site.
watched one too many Jordan Peterson videos, and have interacted with.
Was he crying?
Like
We
people,
live in a society. I think that's important for everybody to remember.
Yeah, like people that you're like,
These are good young men.
This guy
They like this girl.
This guy just needs to find someone willing to touch his wiener one time, and he will be fine. Like,
yeah, sure.
a lot of that. Like,
Easier said than done, man.
Absolutely, but
It's hard out here for hate.
it's God. It's just it's so sad and funny.
Yep.
And there's
But not Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade isn't sad.
Stellar Blade's pretty good. I
It's
would
just
like.
fun.
Yeah, I would say if you are a fan of Souls-like or even like Devil May Cry style combat, it's definitely probably worth checking out. It is a good video game. It is just a shame that it got turned into something political, so much so that the quote unquote censorship, the studio head was asked about this at an event over the weekend. And he said, like, no, what is in version 1002 of the game is what we intended. And that got spun into, well, obviously he's going to say that, like Sony, like, It's just the levels, like,
There's always
of all
more
the
conspiracy.
Yes, of all the things to create conspiracy theories about, like, this is about as pathetic as it gets.
Well, yeah, they
Sure.
this group of weirdos put all their hopes and dreams on this being their revolution flashpoint, and then everyone just thought the game was okay.
And then
now
it came
they're
out,
grasping at straws.
and all these woke, quote unquote, woke gaming outlets gave it good scores, and that wasn't good enough. And then now we have what's happening now, which is just incredibly stupid and sad.
Very, very cool people. Very cool
just,
people.
Just the fucking best. So yeah, Stellar Blade, good game. Stellar Blade fans, not so much.
Damn the fans, as they say.
I would say I'd rather hang out with some, like, actually no, because the Venn diagram there is probably just a circle. I was gonna say I'd rather hang out with someone that has like multiple Pickle Rick pins on their jacket. But
That's
they probably also share very. I am a Rick and Morty fan. I like that show. I do not like the fan base. So I'm used to being in here in the filth. These mongrels.
That's fair. Well, I did to myself play something a bit controversial while over you all were tending to your suits and your internet, anger. I was starting up a new automation game. So
That's the worst, man.
Who has the real sickness?
You truly do have a problem.
Yeah, I do. I sure do. And I'll tell you what's not one of those problems, to me at least, is Odd Sparks and Automation Adventure. This game came out on April 21st, or I'm sorry, 24th into early access. Massive Mini Team makes this one. Sets you back $20 right now on Steam. This game is awesome. I think it blends a lot of things I love into one nice, very approachable package. If I was going to give you an elevator pitch, I'd say, hey, do you like Factorio and do you like Pikmin? And if you say yes to both of those,
What if I said I only like one of those things?
then I would say, which one do you like? And you're
Which one?
gonna say Pikmin, and I'm gonna say there might be enough charm to get you into this, but there might not be enough of that charm to carry the weight of the automation piece that you'll absolutely need to be doing. So this game is a very cute, very laid back, fun looking game that is a city hub or a village hub where you're going and getting quests to expand parts of the village, and you have to go out into this overworld that has verticality to it and different biomes that when you expand out you start to get more of the RTS management for combat, but also finding new resources to bring back and automate. So you're collecting sparks, and each spark has a different shape. It also has a different characteristic that will help you improve the productivity on your base. So some sparks are better at hauling, others are going to be better at being inside the machines operating them. But you are building out like Factorio or Satisfactory-esque factories in the woods that has like a Keebler elf kind of vibe to what you're doing with it. But all around your character, you look like a wizard, and you have the same controls of a Pikmin. So you have all these little things running around you. It looks fucking awesome. I did a quick look with Chase. It's going to be out next week, or whenever you're listening to this. Just go check our YouTube. But I think it blends some stuff really well, and it looks gorgeous. There's about 30 hours of gameplay in the early access that they've put out, and they've already committed to some really impressive roadmaps for it. But this game's also co-op, so you can play with a friend. I don't know if it has couch co-op right now, but it's so much fun, and it's really like the combat's been pretty challenging. You have to make sure you have a lot of resources with you, and you need to kill some of these critters to get parts that then expand your base of operations. But I'm just having a great time with it. I think it's very intelligent and very well done.
Nice. It reminds me a little bit of there was another one of these kinds of games that you played.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, I know. But like specifically the idea of, hey, it's a factory survival crafty game.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I'm watching the video now, and the little tree stump men with
Yes.
the googly eyes.
Mhm.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, they're cute.
This one's
cute for sure.
cool.
But there was another one you were playing that you were like getting new islands or new land masses.
Oh,
I can't
yeah,
remember if they
yeah.
were hexagons or squares, but
Yeah.
and that one also had like little drones that you were getting.
Oh, I do. That was more of the 2D one. God, what was the name of that? That one was like a whole fucking shipping factory that you were building out, and you were taking resources. It was a ton of fun to craft that
But
world.
in the same way that it's like you in that game you had like an army of drones, and in this one you have your Pikmin like dudes.
Yep. And that's been really cool because you actually can craft them. So the resources you're harvesting go back into making these woodland creatures. I mean, I'm having a hard time finding something I don't like about it. It's been really cool. I've played a lot of these games that we've made fun of already, but this one does stand out. Like, I think if you are new or curious, like, this is way more approachable and less intimidating than an actual factory pressing steel. Like, there's a cute factor here that even if you might not be great at automation, you'll still have fun going and getting more of these little critters to help out. So came out again.
If you want to play POW World with fewer stolen assets,
Yeah.
maybe try this.
Yes, this one is definitely unique in the genre for sure. I haven't quite played anything exactly like this one yet. So that's what I've been up to. Chase, you seem to be up to something. I don't know if it's any good though.
Yeah, so I played Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, which I guess I should point out first, just so nobody thinks I'm biased. I kickstarted this game, so take what I have to say with a grain of salt. I helped this thing come to light.
This is the Suikoden-esque, correct?
Yes, this is the like spiritual successor to Suikoden. It had some Suikoden people who worked on it. who were leading this project, um, and yeah, they made a Suikoden game. Um, eh.
That's kind of what
Yeah,
I've been hearing.
I think I was gonna say that seems to be the general consensus.
So
Yeah.
here's my main problem. This is an incredibly bad Switch version, which I
Ooh.
know it's pretty easy to say. Well, just don't play it on Switch. Play it on PC. Play it on somewhere else. Watching reviews of other people, just video clips of other people playing it, you go, oh, they're not dealing with any of the issues that I'm dealing with as a person who has this on Switch. But man, the performance is so bad on Switch. It's got some really bad
Damn.
load times. If you get
Damn.
into a battle, it's like 5 to 7 seconds
It's not
of
that
sitting there.
graphically intense, though, is it?
Doesn't seem like it. It's kind of
Weird.
it's yeah, it's a little odd. It's just the load times are bad. Like I said, 5 to 7 seconds between like getting hit with a random battle and waiting at a black screen that says now loading before you actually load in. And you think 5 to 7 seconds, that's not a huge deal, but random battles happen all the time. You pause the menu or turn the get to the map screen, and when you come out of those menus, there's just like a half to a full second kind of hitch where you're like, can I move? Can I move yet? Okay, now I can move. Okay, which geez. Um, so just a lot of sluggish transition kind of stuff, uh, and just really low fidelity stuff on the Switch. These are things I normally don't care
Yeah,
about. Where
man.
I
Like
just
this, I'm
accept.
actually like shocked right now.
Yeah, when have I ever said the word fidelity when talking
Right.
about video games? I don't give a
Never.
shit about this shit.
Those aren't
Um,
words that Chase Kinnicky
No.
ever
but like,
utters.
well, I was playing and I was like, this the world just feels ugly. The characters great, like all the sprite work I think is excellent. The talking heads, like the hand drawn heads that they use for when somebody talks, they look great. All that stuff's good. Just the world is kind of muddy and
Man.
ugly and choppy. Like
Have you?
when you're moving side to side, just the world itself loads in really choppily, and it just makes for something that looks really really ugly. And then I watched the IGN review, and it looked super sharp, and it didn't have any of that choppiness at all. And I damn that you're playing a different game than I am, because what I'm
Well, that's
playing
what I was going
what
to
I'm
ask
playing
you.
sucks.
Could you just from like a theory download it on Game Pass on your computer and see?
I could, yeah, totally could.
Just to see like is it running okay there?
Yeah, I'm again, I'm sure it is. And watching other people play on other platforms, it looks like they're not dealing with these issues. It just is a really poor Switch.
Fuck.
Um,
Have you seen if there's been like any commentary on that to potentially address it or
no,
fix
I
it,
haven't really
patch
looked
it?
any of that stuff up. There might be. It might be something that they're continuing to optimize, but it's just not there
That's a
right now.
bummer, man. Do you think if that
Yeah.
wasn't the case, you'd like it, or is there still?
I've got some more notes.
Okay.
Yeah, I took some notes because I wanted to be somewhat specific in the things that I was talking about here. So, like I said, sprites, portraits, animations for the characters all look really cool. Just the overworld on the Switch looks pretty ugly. I think the overworld in general looks kind of ugly. I wish
Yeah.
I don't think it needed to be like an HD 2D thing, but
Yeah, that's
it
getting a
just
little. I don't know.
it just
It's a
clashes a
lot
little bit. Like
hmm
you've got these really nice sharp sprites, and then the world is
for sure.
polygons that they look okay. They just look a little generic comparatively, and that's kind of a bummer. Um, the gameplay is like really stock standard Suikoden, which is
hmm
what you want, and that stuff works great. You still have the team of six, and
Up to
you
100
have people
characters, though,
who
right?
yeah, there's 100, well, not 100 playable characters. There's 100
Okay.
characters that you can recruit, but some of those people will be like a blacksmith or
Oh,
a
okay.
chef
Okay.
or something like that. So you won't have 100 fighters, but you
Okay.
will get
That makes
100
sense.
people eventually. Although some of them, I'm sure, if it's anything like other Suikoden games, will be people you either need to get on a time limit, or you have to do some specific things for, and maybe you won't even see some of these characters. So I highly doubt, unless you're playing a guide, you're going to find all 100 in your first playthrough. But um, one of the cool things about games like Suikoden 1 and 2 is like those games were 20 hours long, maybe even less. 10 to 20 hours long.
Sure.
This game's 60 hours long, so
Ooh.
I'm not
And
as
multiple
inclined to play it
playthroughs?
multiple times. Yeah.
God
It's
damn.
It's a hard bargain, Chase.
Yeah. But more importantly than just the issues I had with performance, something that everybody is going to have to deal with, there are a ton of stoppages in the early game, where it is every 5 steps they want to have a little cutscene, and
Oh,
you know
yeah.
they're not beautiful cutscenes or anything. It's just stop, let this character talk at you for a little bit. Okay, move another few steps. Now let's have this character talk to you a little bit. Uh, it's, especially in the first dungeon they kind of take you through, it is so much of stop, start, and it
Fuck.
just
That
it gets
sucks.
it's a
Sounds
really
frustrating.
slow paced,
Yeah.
frustrating opening for sure. I've gotten past that, and it's okay now. It's happening less, but there are still just so many places in that early game in those first couple hours. I'm probably 10ish, 8 to 10 hours into it now. But those first handful of hours are just plotting, which is pretty rough. I mentioned the random battles, which I think are
Mhm.
fine. Somehow they have chosen the absolute worst sound effect for being attacked in a random battle.
Oh, what is it?
Um, it's like the closest thing. It's not exactly, but the closest thing I can think of is like that kind of awful string sound you hear in horror movies where they're
Oh,
about to do
yeah.
like a jump scare at you.
Yep.
Um, and you just hear that, and it's so much louder than anything in the game that
Fuck.
it's almost like I'm getting a jump scare at me every 30 seconds while I'm roaming around the world. I don't like horror games. I don't like jump scares. I hate this sound. It
It's
is
bad.
nails on a chalkboard to me, and it happens all the time
And
because
you
that's
can't
the
change it.
random battle sound. Not that I can see. It's a terrible sound. I
Are
fucking
you
hate
gonna
it.
stop playing this?
I don't know, man. It's also got a pretty bad save system, in my opinion. You can't just save anywhere. You can either you can save at specific save points that are in dungeons, or you can save at inns in town. But you can't just be around in the overworld and save. I've definitely played games where like, okay, hey, you're in a dungeon, you can't save anywhere. You got to save specifically, like Star Ocean, the Star Ocean
Mhm.
remake that I played. Um, had that. Like you could save anywhere you want on the overworld. That's fine. You're free. You're open. Everything's good. But when you're in a dungeon, okay, you have to go at specific points where you save, and that made a lot of sense. I mean, I am on the Switch. I could just pause the game. I could just hit the home
Sure.
button. I could just turn the thing off, and it'll
You should be
suspend it, and
fine.
I'll be
Yeah.
where I am before. But there's going to be a case someday where I'm like, oh, I want to switch over to that game, but oh, I got to make sure I go to the inn first, and that means I've got to
Yeah.
walk over here. You don't unlock fast travel immediately. Fast travel is something that apparently like happens like 20 hours in the game, and you can miss it. So
Are you
some of
serious?
that, yeah, it's like you have
Dude,
to talk to a very
I'm
specific
gonna
What
tell
the
person.
you,
fuck, man?
bail, fucking bail, dude.
No,
This sounds like a
so
bummer.
I've been saying a lot of bad stuff, but I think that I just need to spend a little bit more time with
But
it
I
because
The
hate
Chase
this game, but
Kinnicky
actually,
story.
I'm
yeah,
gonna keep going with it.
I really do like a lot of the characters. I think the voice acting is pretty solid. The writing is okay. It's maybe a little cutesier than I'd kind of want it to be, which isn't helped by the
Take
first
notes, Johnny.
couple
Don't be fucking cute.
the first couple new characters you get for your squad. Like you get your early set, and then the first new character you get is a self-proclaimed magical girl, and she is full on cutesy wootsy magic missile shit, and you're like, okay, that's a little much, and she talks all the time.
Oh.
And then the next person you get is a healer who is she's nice on the outside, but then when somebody pisses her off, she like gets into like almost like a bully kind of thing. Like she just gets really pissy and
Hmm.
like really standoffish, but she goes bipolar in those instances. And having those two like be the first two characters you meet, like, can I can I just get some normal
Yep.
dudes, please? And you
No.
do. Like I've got a samurai guy who seems pretty cool. Um, I just unlocked a 6-year-old girl who is riding on um, basically a Where the Wild Things Are monster.
Okay.
um, she's kind of cool. She's looking for her mom, so she's being a brave little girl, but she's got this imaginary friend who's not so imaginary because it's a big woolly beast, and they take up 2 slots in your party. You so you could only have 5 characters on the field at the time with her in there. But pretty cool, big monster. So you're
Sounds all
starting
right.
to unlock some cool characters. I know there's going to be cool characters coming up. There's like a kangaroo with a sword. There's a big shark man with a mace. And it's like I want to see some of these characters. I want to deal with more of what's going on. Having so many characters, you don't have as much equipment bullshit to deal with. You just go to a blacksmith who can upgrade your weapons so many times, and so that's really nice of not having to constantly switch through a bunch of swords or whatever. Um, it's not quite the case for armor stuff. You still get, head armor, chest armor, that kind of stuff, and accessories. And I don't think they have a really great system for how equipment works.
Hmm.
Mostly what I've been going through now, and I think it's really the only way to do it, is you just have your big list of items, and you go down to the piece of equipment, and you just choose it, and then you go, okay, I guess equip it to that person. But I can't. There isn't just like some good equip screen that says,
That sucks,
here's all the stuff everybody has. Here's all the stuff you have
especially for that
available.
many characters.
Right. Yeah. And it's not a huge deal. Like these stats don't seem to matter all that much. I'm not on a crazy high difficulty, but I'm not on the story difficulty either.
It's still a nuance, a
And so
little
far,
nuance
I'm
detail
still
for it.
crushing it. It
Yeah.
does have an auto battle feature, which is nice. Like the boss fights you definitely want to do yourself, but I'm starting to kind of get into a Dragon Quest 11 style. Hey, I can let these normal battles just auto battle because my guys will figure it out. And it does have a bit of a. It's kind of weird coming off of Unicorn Overlord because this game also has, hey, when we're auto battling, you can make some parameters of, is my health under 50%? Well, use a healing item then.
Okay.
But it's not anywhere near what Unicorn Overlord does.
Oh yeah, there's a little
But
bit more
it is
tactile to it.
still, yeah, it gives you like a couple options of, hey, don't use any of my magic points for skills. Only use the normal attacks. So you do get a few little options there that help the auto battle
Cool.
go okay. Um, One of the weirdest things though, there's just some dumbass randomness that's in some of these fights. The first boss fight is fine, but the second boss fight, when you get the magical girl, is just really weird. It's this big mole, and he can show up on one side of the screen, one of 2 places on the screen. And the magical girl has this one gimmick that it's only for this battle, I believe. I don't think she gets this anywhere else. But she just puts 2 magical tomes, one on either side of the screen, and you can burn a character's turn by having them go over to one of the tomes and activate it, which
Hmm.
will bring this giant, pretty hammer, whatever the fuck she calls it, glittery, pretty hammer. And if the boss is on the correct side of the screen, it will smash the boss for like triple the damage that you would normally be able to do, and maybe stun the boss too. And it's awesome. You should do that every chance you get. The problem is, at the end of every turn, the boss digs down into the ground because it's a mole, and you have to guess. You just have to, like, I don't know, maybe he's on the right side now, maybe he's on the left. I have no idea. There's no visual indicators. Like there's no pattern to it. It's just completely random. So I spent the battle, the first 5 turns, I shit you not, going, well, let's try the left side. Wasn't on the left side. And it's like, all right, well, let's try the left side again. And it wasn't on the left side. And let's try the left side again. And it's like, okay, well, now it's been 3 times. So obviously they'll switch it up now. Pattern or no, nobody would ever do 4 times on the right side. No, he absolutely went to the fourth and fifth times. And it was like, okay, this sucks. I hate this fucking fight. And it took so long. And part of that was I was missing the triple damage opportunities. But it was just this big random gimmick that did not feel good at all and did not feel fun. And I ended up using all my healing items as I waited
Jeez.
for this to work out. And you get past it, and it's fine because the regular battles don't have these same kind of gimmicks. So now that I'm past it, I don't have to deal with it. But just the idea that there are going to be other parts of this game that will also have randomness. I know there are duels specifically where it's one character against another and it's a rock paper scissors thing, which I think might have been in a Suikoden game before. It might be in Suikoden 2, some system like this where you attack or you counter or you I think there's a third option. And so it is just a rock paper scissors thing, but again, it's just a total guess every time. It's not
Hmm.
like you're unlocking the pattern and or somebody's giving you a tell where you can go, okay, I've figured out how to do it now. It's just guessing and hope that you got the right one. And then if you didn't, well, fuck you. So overall, I think there's something there. I would like to play more of it. I would like to see more of these characters and come up with the cool team combos, like some hero units work together and
Chase,
have
I love you to
specific hero
death, man.
combos.
We've got a lot of video
I
games.
know.
We've got to move on from this.
I think the game is kind of cool, but the Switch version feels busted as fuck. So that's
Okay.
that's my main deal.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I know you had high hopes. I know you have a lot of feelings on it. I hope
Pie
it
in the
turns.
sky,
Yeah.
Hey,
apple pie.
I wrote notes, so it could have been worse. It could have been off the cuff, but I had notes this time.
I don't know if that's better, Chase. Why don't you tell us about some of the games that we thought would be good, since we just heard about one that you did like or didn't?
Sure.
I can't tell.
Yeah. Let's go. I've got the wrong date up there, don't I? Yes. Let's go to April. Yeah. Let's. We're in our monthly preview episode, which means we're going to tell you about the games that came out in May. But before we do, we're going to talk about the games that came out in April and what was good and what was bad. Bobby, you had a handful of games that you thought you might like that were in your picks. You had Manor Lords, which we talked about that one, right?
Not yet, but we've talked about it in the preview for sure.
Okay, I think I'm messing that one up with Botany Manor.
Yes.
You had another Crab's Treasure. Did you end up playing that?
Yep. I'm going to talk about it next week. I've actually put some good time into it.
Nice. I know we played the early access or the
Oh yeah,
Steam
it's
Next
fun.
Fest demo for that, but No Rest for the Wicked, which we've definitely talked about before. What's Europa? I forgot what Europa was.
That's the Ghibli looking one. It didn't come out. It's been delayed.
Right.
So
That's
I thought it was coming out. I haven't heard about it being pushed. It just says coming soon on Steam now. So nothing there.
You had Harold Halibut, which I know you were very hyped for. How did that turn out?
Too slow for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's beautiful. It's so cool. It's just, and it's a longer game too. So it's slow, man. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I get that. That's tough. And then you also had Children of the Sun, which we have a quick look of.
Going up tomorrow.
Soon? Going tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah.
That game seems rad.
It's very cool.
Johnny, you had Stellar Blade because you're a.
I gotta
woke.
support.
You're not.
I gotta
woke.
support real games, bro.
Right,
Real
yeah,
gamers.
absolutely. So we
Trademark.
heard all about that. You also had Harold Halibut. I believe Bobby scared you off it,
He did.
right? You didn't start it. Yeah.
I would still like to play Children of the Sun because that game seems pretty cool.
Yep, and that was your last pick. And then as for me, I had Planet Alana, which that was a port last month. That came out.
I think it's doing well on Switch.
I'm sure it is. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's better optimized than some games that I've played recently. So I didn't pick that up. It's on my wish list. I'm probably going to wait for a sale on that one. I had some game called Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. So, okay, let me tell you a little bit about
No,
this
please.
game. Well, and then I also had Children of the Sun, which I have purchased. I just haven't started yet.
Cool.
But, man, watching that quick look, watching the other stuff that we've done with that game, that's one I definitely want to play very, very soon.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's move on to some free stuff coming out in the month of May. Sony just put out today, so breaking news, their PlayStation Plus Essential games.
Kind of a late arrival for them.
Yeah, a little bit late. Felt a little bit late. But we've got a handful of games here. We've got EAFC 24. That is Football Club. is what the FC stands for. The EA stands for Electronic Arts. If you
Is
didn't know,
this-
the 24
this is-
stands for 2024, which is the year of our
Yeah.
Lord.
This is just FIFA, right?
It's FIFA
They-
without the
They declined to
Q
renew
without the E.
the license.
Yeah.
Yes, because
Probably a good
FIFA
call.
wanted. So hey, FIFA turns out a very corrupt organization.
what? No.
They wanted, I forget, it was some ludicrous amount of money for them to continue using the FIFA name.
Yeah.
God damn.
And they declined.
So that's both the PS5 and the PS4 version. Ghost Runner 2, which is just the PS5 version. Some game called Tunic. Hear that game's pretty lame.
Not familiar.
People don't like it.
Hate it.
Dead game.
Both on PS5 and PS4. I know one of Bobby's favorites, so
Mm-hmm.
check that out. And then Destiny 2 Lightfall.
Sony's own.
Which, yeah, I mean, I have to imagine Sony's just like, oh, we're a little light.
Ship it, ship
PlayStation
it.
stuff.
Fucking push it out.
Hey, we got that Destiny. Let's put it up there. So that's both PS5 and PS4 versions. If you're a free to play Destiny player, this is your chance to get
Yeah.
Strand for free. So that's something you could do that. I hear there's more Destiny coming. I wouldn't know. I'm living clean.
Love it.
But I hear there's more. Bobby, hit me with some Game Pass titles.
Always up for adjustment, but currently there's 3 games that we'll talk about later on as well. So Little Kitty Big City, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and Haunty will be coming out on Game Pass, and we'll talk about those here pretty quick.
Nice.
Would you call me? Did you just call me a honky?
That's not exactly what he said,
No.
but you know what?
Nope.
If the shoe fits. All right. Right before we get into the monthly releases for May,
Shut up,
we've
honky.
got a wheel to spin. We've got some business to do.
Wait,
So
we're doing it again?
Yeah, we're doing it. So this one's just for me. You guys, last month. We did the spin for
Casual boy.
Oh.
the casual pocket stuff.
Advanced Wars 2.
Advanced Wars 2 was chosen, which I'm sure you both have put lots of hours in at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I also
started
have
it?
not started it, but I am going to be playing it for Chasing K Plays. I'll talk more about that at the end of the show. But yeah, fuck it. I'll do a May spin. Bobby, can you give me a spin for the month of May?
In a second. Yeah, hang on. Didn't know we were doing it. I think we're good. Let me switch us over here.
All right. Hey, there's 98 games on this list. I think there's like 80.
Okay.
But there's
Spinning
a lot
now.
of games on this list. I gotta get through these things. I need something better than Metal Max Zeno, please. Please.
World of Final Fantasy Maximus.
Okay. All right. Sure. Yeah. I think I just deleted this off my Switch. Was like,
Oh,
yeah,
darn. Now you have to
never happened.
re-download it.
God.
Yeah.
Man.
Sure. You know what? I bet I might have more fun than Rebirth.
I heard that game was all right.
Yeah. I also have heard that game is perfectly fine.
Perfectly
and
cromulent.
I want to try it. Yeah. I want to try it. So
All right.
yeah, I'll put some time into World of Final Fantasy Maximus and see what happens. Again, I bet that Switch port is better optimized than some games I've played
Could be.
recently. Okay, without further ado, let's get into the month of May, and we will start on May 2nd with Endless Ocean Luminous for the Nintendo Switch. Holy shit, Nintendo has been shoving this one down my throat on the YouTube pre-roll
Yeah,
ads.
they're pushing this one, aren't they?
It seems fine, but also it's not what I want. It's not Abzu 2. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean this game is absolutely cribbing on something like Abzu, but
Oh, yeah.
it's more of like a multiplayer format. It seems like
format?
there's I think it's like up to 64. I could be wrong on that, but it's like a lot of fucking people. And you could just dive with all these people and go
Oh, this
shit in
game.
the ocean. Again, it seems fine. It just
Yeah.
the world looks
Not quite my
really
tempo.
generic. Like
This looks
it's-
like a phone game.
Yep.
there is anti-style to this.
Yeah.
This looks
There is
like-
no,
100%.
This looks like one of those pretend games that there are ads for on Twitter.
Yeah. This is like.
I'm sorry to the devs that made this.
Yeah.
but
yeah. Again, I'm sure mechanically, game's probably perfectly
Yeah.
fine.
It's probably
It's just, man, it just makes me think about Abzu, which is a game that is absolutely gorgeous.
Yep.
And then this just
Has no
is
riz.
there. It's just there.
Yep.
No
Wow,
riz. at
Johnny.
all.
Jeez.
So let's move on, move away from the Rizless Endless Ocean, and move into the maybe a game with too much Riz. I don't know. On May the 7th, we're getting Prison Architect 2.
Oh,
Is this
hang
really
on.
the trailer? No,
No,
this
you
is not the
skipped it.
trailer.
Here, hang on.
Did
I don't
I?
know. You don't have it showing there. I
Don't
added
have it
this.
shown.
It's
Okay.
so. This is Sermont.
I have no idea about the Riz level of this game.
This one has a ton of Riz. So Sermont is something that you and I checked out on a Next Fest chase. This is what I put on here. How about a quirky Jusant with a friend? This has the Gang Beast and Human Fall Flat vibes to it. You create a character and you are working your way across these maps. It looks and feels great. We did check it out. I think this could be, I don't know how many people can play it. It is going to be on Windows, Nintendo Switch, and it will also be on a Mac OS. I think this could be a really fun game to play with somebody. And I don't know if it's just a co-op thing. I don't know if it has cross-play. I don't know any of that. I think it looks fantastic, though. And I played the demo and loved it.
It reminds me a little bit of the what's the Astro Boy game? No, not Astro. Yeah,
Astrobot.
Astrobot. Jesus, not Astro Boy. That's a different thing. The PS5 one. The where you're specifically get into like the monkey suit and you're climbing on that. The climbing of this reminds me a little bit of that.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. So Sermont.
Yeah, very cool. All right, back to May the 7th. Let's talk about Prison Architect 2, which is coming to PC, Xbox Series X, and PS5. I remember this first game being incredibly successful. The dev made a bunch of money on it.
Yeah.
That dev ended up selling the IP to a publisher, to Paradox Interactive. So they are not working on this second one. Paradox has found a different developer for it. They've added a third dimension.
This looks like it.
No longer 2D top down. It's now 3D stuff.
I don't know if I could see there being some fun with this. I think.
Yeah, I know at least in the first game there was some story stuff where, man, it was really hard to tell whether this game was playing doing like the carceral system for funsies, which made me feel a little icky, or if it was doing some biting social commentary.
Yeah.
I think they wanted it to be more on the social commentary line, but I don't know if they stuck that landing. But it seemed like a lot of people just didn't give a shit. Like they were like, the game's fun and I just want to play the game. So we'll see what the second one ends up being and ends up doing. But I know that's a very popular franchise at this point. So we'll have to see. On the 8th, V Rising is coming to PC, and I'm going to take a back seat because I know nothing about it, but I know somebody who does.
Johnny and I play a little bit of this. V Rising is a survival craft game where you are a vampire, and it's got a really cool isometric. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, shit, some might say.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I love that Johnny forgot in our Discord, like, oh, Bobby likes this game, the one that you own, coward. But it's really cool. It's got like I think if you just glanced at combat, you'd think Diablo, but it feels really good. You can do some different gear, and the building stuff is really interesting because being a vampire, you are impacted, of course, by daylight, so you need to be going out or at least protected during the day. But it's co-op. We're actually going to be streaming this in a few weeks. Pierce, who does the other podcast with Chase and friend of our show, is going to join us on a Friday night stream where we all hop in for 1.0 because this has been in early access for a while, but they've added in quite a bit to it. And I knew I loved it. I put a lot of time into it when it first dropped. I was like, cool your jets. When this thing comes out, you'll play more of it. And that's what I plan on doing. And I'm very excited about this one.
Very cool. Well, speaking of games that have been cooking for a while, on the 9th is Animal Well, which is coming to PC, Switch, and PS5. This game's been in the works for a really long time.
It looks very pretty.
It's got such a striking design and feel to it. I mean, we've talked about being tired of some pixel art games in the past.
Not this one.
This game, while definitely pixel art, you go, nope, this is unique and cool and interesting, and I want it in my veins. I don't know if this is the specific genre of game that I like. It's a little Metroidvania. It's a lot of hidden puzzly stuff. From what I hear, there's some real Fez vibes in here of like maybe some hidden puzzle stuff that's not even the main puzzle stuff.
God, I bet
Um,
that looks awesome on an OLED screen.
Mm.
I bet it does. But yeah, that game's coming out soon, and I'm pretty interested. I imagine for somebody who likes a game like Tunic,
Hmm.
that this is right up that alley.
Yep, I'm very excited for this one.
Also on the 9th, Crow County is coming to PC, PS4, and PS5. I've mentioned it before. I mentioned it in this episode. I'm a chicken when it comes to horror stuff. And so I'll probably not play this game, but I am really intrigued by it because just
It's
look at
cool.
this thing.
Yeah.
They made a PS1 game.
Is this like,
That's
They
how
sure did.
scary is it going to
that's
be?
I don't know.
This
It's
looks
hard to
like
tell.
it's like got some Five Nights at Freddy's
Yeah,
vibe.
that's what I was
It's
thinking.
it's like they smashed. It's the art
It's like-
style of Final Fantasy VII on the
Yeah,
PS1.
I was gonna say no. It has like tank controls. It's
but
like
yes,
Mhm.
but with tank controls, so
oh,
you're throwing
that title
some Resident
screen.
Evil in there
That's
too.
basically Resident Evil.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's like
Yeah.
they smashed Resident Evil
Interesting.
and
Yep.
1997 Final Fantasy VII together.
I can see people really losing their shit over this.
I think people already have been losing their shit over
Yeah.
it. But it's just interesting to me because again, we talked about pixel art games. You see so many people who have made 16-bit style games, your Shovel Knights of the world that are like,
Yep.
oh look, we're making like an NES game or we're making a Super Nintendo game. And I don't think you've seen so many people try to recreate the PS1. I think a lot of people, myself included, thought that's when games looked ugly. Why would we ever want to make games that look like Nintendo 64 and PS1 games? Those games look fucking terrible.
Right.
But
Because nostalgia.
but,
Yeah,
yeah,
hell of a
absolutely
drug.
nostalgia. But I think there is like an execution to this game where you go, I this is what I remember PS1 games looking like, even if they did not look nearly as good.
Yep.
So I'm pretty interested in Crow County, even if it's definitely a genre I am not vibing with. But man, it just looks so cool. Just
It
looks
does
so
look really cool.
Let's move on. Also on the 9th, Little Kitty Big City is coming to PC, Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and as Bobby mentioned, Game Pass as well. They showed off this game at the last Nintendo Indie World. Definitely not Stray,
No.
but you do play as a cat. You're in a city, and it
It's a
seems
cute
like
cat.
yeah, cute cat. You can put hats on the cat. Cat in a hat.
In the cat in the hat.
Yes, absolutely. Cats in hats. Um, could be good. I don't know.
I this will be a very popular game as well.
Yeah,
Especially
going
being
around
on
the
Game
city,
Pass, I
you're
think.
accomplishing little tasks.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems more open ended than a game like Stray.
It's, you know what, being on Game Pass, I will see what it's about.
Yeah, why not? Totally fair. Also on the 9th, May 9th, big day for
Big
video
day.
games. Pac-Man Tunnel Battle.
Hot damn.
Chomp
I feel like
Champs.
an IMAX logo is about to come on the screen. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. This is coming to PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Looking at this, it seems like a pseudo sequel to something like Pac-Man 99.
Yep.
Yeah,
Where
I was just
maybe
thinking that.
It's
those
listed
vibes.
as a battle royal, but the idea here is that you can go into other players' screens and potentially chomp them. Not only the ghosts, but you can chomp other players. Uh, my my real question with this is like, who's going to play this? Because with something like Pac-Man 99, you had everybody got it for free who had Nintendo
With
Switch
Nintendo,
Online. So
yeah.
you had this huge player base who were like, yeah, I'll give this a shot. This game is not free. You have
No.
to pay money to play this game.
Yeah.
And I don't know a lot of battle royals that
No, not today.
that aren't like the four that we all play, that are going to stand up. Like this feels like a game that's going to be dead in 2 months,
Yep.
which is a shame because it looks like there's some cool features and ideas that are going on here. But
$20.
yeah, it's not a huge barrier to entry, but it's a barrier
Still,
to entry,
yeah.
which these kinds of games, like there's a reason Fortnite is free to play.
Totally.
Like they get their money in other ways, and the
Mhm.
idea is you put the lowest barrier to everybody, so everybody gets in and tries it. And this game is going, nah, you got to give us $20 first, and I don't know that enough people are going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's like a
where they're
season
going,
pass
okay.
you're buying or something like that, or maybe it could they. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who fucking
We'll
knows?
Finally, moving on from the 9th, let's get into the 13th with Homeworld 3 coming to the personal computer. This looks really cool.
Yep.
Johnny, I think you're the most excited from anybody. What are you seeing here that you like?
It's an RTS game in space.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I
It looks like it deals with 3 dimensions based on the trailer stuff that
It
I was
does.
seeing here,
Yeah.
which seems potentially extremely confusing to control an RTS in 3 dimensions.
it's a very dense game. I have the other two, and I played the demo for this on the Next Fest. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Johnny, I think you would like
certainly
it for
daunting.
sure, but it's a lot. There's a lot
And
of
this is a
moving
series
pieces.
that's had an extremely long lineage too. Like
Mhm.
despite having a 3 in its title, like the first game, well, the first game was like 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a
Late
long time ago.
90s.
So, and there have been some other like Homeworld spin-off kind of games, like not numbered sequels, but people seem to like
This would be the one that I think would get me. It just requires a lot of focus, and I think once you clear the landing there, you're good to go. But it's a lot to get into.
Yeah, I could also see it. I put it in the notes here. Like I could just see it being a game that has lots of institutional knowledge of if you have not played Homeworld 1 or 2 or one of the other Homeworld games, coming into something like this, it seems very easy to get overwhelmed immediately.
Yeah.
For somebody like me who's like, "Oh, this game looks cool, the RTS in space," and then I open
You
it up
can't
and go,
just
"Oh,
jump into
fuck
one
me."
of these.
Yeah. I feel like I need to watch a 2-hour long YouTube video explaining the mechanics before I actually try it for myself.
You know
Even
what?
if that's not the case, that's just what it looks like to me.
Farming
It's
games, always gonna be punching a tree, always gonna be punching a rock. Get me a fucking farm, and I'm good to go.
Fair enough. Fair enough. On the 14th, Biomutant comes back, coming to the Nintendo Switch. This is a port of the 2021 game. Bobby, you were okay
I
on
wanted
this
to
game, but Johnny
okay
did
at best.
not like this game.
Johnny bounced off hard. He got a refund.
Yeah.
I think
No, I
it
didn't.
looks great. Oh, he didn't get a refund. Apparently they
you
put
can go
some
back and
stuff
play it
back
now.
into it, but
There was a pricing error, and I paid $3 for it, which is more
Oh.
than that game should be paid for by anybody.
it definitely wasn't great. So yeah, this is the one. It's like action RPG, third person. You're a little critter that you can design. It's old. People didn't like it. We can move on.
Yeah, I wonder how if they've done any work to it with porting it over, if they've changed mechanics or changed stuff
I don't
to make
know.
quality of life better for anybody. I haven't heard anything about it. Speaking of games that may have changed things that may not matter, let's talk about Braid Anniversary Edition.
This got bumped, right? We talked about this in April.
Did
I
it?
thought. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think it got delayed.
Okay. I don't give a fuck about Braid. I famously do not give a fuck about Braid, but now it's apparently coming out the 14th on Switch, PS4, PS5, PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X.
I think it's a Netflix game now, by the way.
Great.
So I think that it'll be on mobile too.
Yeah, you can't make me care about Braid.
Yep.
No, nobody can. I refuse.
Jonathan Blow.
It was very
blows.
important back in the day, back when Xbox Live Arcade was a very nascent concept. But we are past that. I do not need Braid in my life anymore. That Soldier Boy video is more important than Braid.
That's fair.
All right, on the 16th, Ghosts of Tsushima Director's Cut is coming to the PC. This is a port of the 2020 PS4 game. You guys were high on Ghosts of Tsushima.
Johnny was. I want to play it on PC.
Okay.
I think I didn't play the co-op stuff. I think that would be fun.
Nice. On the 16th as well is Lorelei and the Laser Eyes for Switch and PC. This was also part of Indie World. This is the newest game from Simogo. Simogo you might know from games like Earwalk or Device 6.
Oh yeah.
Or most recently for Sayonara Wild Hearts, which was very cool. This game also looks very cool. It's got some Suda
It does
51
look
vibes
good.
to it.
God, it looks good.
It looks a little scary for me, but but these guys make some really cool looking games. And
This looks awesome.
yeah. some cool puzzly elements. I could see, if you were a fan of a game like Control, maybe some of the
That's what I'm
5
thinking,
tier
especially with that
original.
fucking maze there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
very
I
much Control.
think I think people are going to be pretty excited about this one.
Damn, I might be snagging this one.
Might want to update your picks. We'll see. On the 20th, World of Warcraft Cataclysm Classic is coming to PC.
This
All
is a
right,
big deal, right?
Somebody's got to explain this to me, because I thought the whole point of World of Warcraft Classic was that, hey, remember when things like Cataclysm changed
now
the
they've
entire world?
the point where
Yes.
I don't fucking know.
Like,
Look, I've been out of the
He's
WoW
been living real clean.
game.
we need to get Aqua on here.
I know.
and just
Aqua,
Yeah.
get
please
an explanation of what the
tell
fuck
us.
is happening.
Aqua.
Yeah, because I left at Lich King. And that was a very, very long time ago.
Cataclysm. Yeah,
That was a very
the-
long time ago. I
that
was still living with my parents.
Second expansion?
Huh?
Third
No,
expansion.
it was
Third
Burning
expansion.
Crusade.
Burning Crusade was the first one, and then
Yes.
Mists of Pandaria or Lich
No,
King? Lich
I
King
think
was
Lich
second.
King.
So
Yeah.
second expansion. That's what I said. Yeah, I think Mist came afterward. There's a weird thing where I kind of knew the WoW expansions, and I kind of knew the new Overwatch characters there for a while, and then I stopped carrying on both.
I mean, it was just
Despite
part
never
of
really caring
the
about
zeitgeist, right?
Yeah. I just don't understand why they would add Cataclysm to Classic, because I thought
Somebody's gonna play it.
Yeah, I did too much research about what's actually happening here, so it still seems like it's the is it the 1.12 1.2 update? There's some like WoW
Dude,
update where
I
they're
have
like,
no
this is
idea.
where everything's been flattened out, and so even though the Cataclysm stuff is going to change the world, I don't think it changes some of the mechanics and like changes to buffs and nerfs of skills and things like that. I also think, and I could be wrong on this, that all of these, every time they've made another version of Classic, those are separate servers now. So I think you could still go back to Lich King and not deal with any of the Cataclysm stuff, even Classic Cataclysm stuff. Jesus Christ, those words are too hard to say together.
Classic Cataclysm.
Yes.
Yeah, they're all siloed off, I believe.
It's just even more nuts to me. This all seems nuts.
Listen, you're trying to understand the people that play
Fair.
WoW, and it just
Fair.
can't be done.
I guess. Why would you? Okay, never mind.
It's,
Doesn't matter. On the 21st, now I can't even say. I can't say shit anymore. It's Cataclysm stuff's got me fucked up. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 comes to PC, Xbox Series X, and Xbox Game Pass. Oh shit!
Oh shit is right for Johnny.
Oh shit! A game I played 2 hours of is getting a sequel.
Yeah, looks all right.
I don't know what to expect here. Like I think Microsoft has a lot of eggs in this basket. This was the first game they showed off announcing the current gen Xbox. So it's been a while before anybody's gotten a chance to play this and see it in great detail, but it's already kind of coming under fire for being a shorter game apparently, and I think it will be a visual feast.
Boo fucking who?
Yeah,
God.
I would love
Fucking gamers are the fucking worst, man. Get the fuck over yourself.
I think
You're not
the thing-
entitled to a specific hour count with a game, okay? Like, enjoy it for what it is. Not everything needs to be some mindless fucking slog for you to
Can't
earn.
say Johnny's low energy on this podcast.
God
Yeah.
damn. I just get the fuck over yourselves, okay?
think
He's got a reputation to keep online now. He's going to be upset about these
God.
things.
That's true. I think my main issue is just everybody talked about the visuals with this game. The first game at least, and the second game seems like even more visually impressive for sure.
Yeah.
I just don't remember people talking about like what the game was like. I heard like the combat was kind of weak, and
it's more like
the
walk-
portrayal of
mental
her
illness.
Mental
right.
illness.
Yeah. I don't know. I look at the game and go, looks pretty.
It's on Game Pass, obviously. I'm going to see. I'm sure it'll look beautiful. I didn't play the first one.
Expensive. Maybe
It
not,
looked-
maybe not
yeah.
pretty, but it looks expensive.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So we'll see.
It'll show off the power of the Xbox Series X quite well, I imagine.
Yep. And they're also complaining because it's a 30 FPS game. So,
Of course they are.
Play it on PC then.
fair.
Also on the 21st, System Shock is getting ported
Nope,
to PS4.
you missed one.
I did not. If you added one in, it's not showing up on the thing.
Okay, Zillions is going to be out. We got that one. I will take over here for
That's
this
next. That's on the 23rd. I'm talking System Shock, baby.
one. Oh,
But
never mind.
no,
We don't have a trailer
it's
for that one.
it's
We don't
a
have a trailer
port.
for that
Yeah,
one.
It's a port,
Okay.
so we don't have a trailer.
Okay.
I was right this time.
Aren't you always?
So yeah, System Shock is getting a port
I gotta
to,
go check
to
my kid in.
PlayStation.
I'll be
Okay.
right back.
All right.
Keep going.
Wow. Hope his kid. Hope he doesn't bring that same energy to his kid. Man,
Just gonna throw him in bed. Fucking toss his ass into bed. Jesus.
The gamers are pissing Johnny off. Anyway, yeah, System Shock is getting a port to consoles. This was a 2023 PC game. I remember a lot of build up to, oh wow, System Shock's getting a remake, and then it came out, and I don't remember people talking about it.
No,
Kind
it
of
did
all.
fine. It got good reviews.
Yeah. It just and then just kind of nothing. So I don't know. I don't know if a console port's gonna make me excited for it. I mean, as a person who thought BioShock 1 was a big deal when it first came out, and now never think about that game ever again.
Yeah.
I don't know if System Shock's going to be the one that gets me back, but it's a
Probably not.
well-loved series for sure. All right, Bobby. Now we can talk about.
Hell yeah! Finally, this game's fucking rules.
23rd. It's coming out to the PC only so far. Haven't heard anything about ports to any other consoles. Zillions, pretty cool.
Pretty fucking cool. We've streamed it a lot, and we will be streaming it here in a few weeks when it comes out for sure. We'll probably do at least 2 weeks of this, maybe more if we really get hitting a run on it or something. But we like it.
Roguelike,
we want it.
Cards, space,
cool
stuff
looks.
Like.
Cool looks.
Yeah, definitely has an anime vibe, which Bobby is all over. Bobby,
I've answered all the anime. I know anime when I see it.
It's true. I've got one new title on the Hey Bobby, what's this anime about? I know we haven't done that for a while, but I have one more anime that we could, if we ever need to bring it back. I've got one anime we can talk about.
Tune in Mondays.
Also on the 23rd, Haunty is coming to Switch, PS4, PS5, PC, Xbox One.
This game looks beautiful.
And Game Pass. Yeah, tell me more about Haunty.
I don't know a whole lot about it. I think it's visually striking. I don't know if it's going to be more of like a Night in the Woods type of like interacting in these worlds and realms that you find yourself in. I don't know if there's combat in this at all, but what I do know is it's a monochromatic. Oh, there is some combat looking at the trailer, it looks like. It's gorgeous. It looks like this weird blend of a Game Boy that's been hand drawn. I think it's got such a cool look to it.
It's got this striking limited color palette to it. I'm really interested to see more about what this game is.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be too spooky either, man. I think it'll be fun for you.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about the spook factor on this one, but always a little tense. But I think this one's gonna be totally fine. Another game that'll be totally fine is on the 23rd, Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, coming to Nintendo Switch. This is a remake of the 2004 GameCube game, which I've heard many people say is the best game in the Paper Mario series.
I can't wait.
And weirdly,
I can't wait.
One of the only ones I haven't played. I've played many Paper Mario games, and despite owning a GameCube, despite loving Paper Mario on the Nintendo 64, I just never played this. I picked it up much later and played maybe like an hour and a half, and then had something else going on and didn't play it anymore. But I think this is the perfect excuse to go back and actually play this game for real, because I think this is the game. Paper Mario for the N64 was well loved, but I think this is the one where they really started to get this idea of what they could do with the paper mechanics, of the humor that they wanted to bring into this specific series, and it just ended up being the one that everybody likes. So
I can't
really,
wait.
really excited for that. Yep,
Can't wait.
That's definitely going to be a day one. Also on the 23rd, World of Goo 2 is coming to PC. And
Electric
Switch.
Boogagoo.
Nice.
No.
Well done. This is a sequel to the 2008 Wii game, which, another early indie
mobile
darling.
game too.
It actually came out the same year as Braid, a game that I care about less. So it is kind of cool to see both Braid and this game get
This is a
new
really neat one.
versions. Yeah. Um, I mean this was like before like Bridge Constructor, which I feel
Yep.
like became a big series, and I feel like that kind of came on the back of this. This has like a Loco Roco feel to me. If anybody remembers
Yeah.
that series, it just seems rad, and it's cool that even after all this time that we're getting a sequel to it. That's
We
pretty neat.
still have room for goo in our hearts.
Absolutely. A couple more here. On the 28th, Multiverses is coming out to PS4, PS5, PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. I seriously thought this game had already died. I thought it came out.
Oh, it
And
technically
Very
did.
confusing,
Playing
Chase.
and
It
they
came
claimed-
out. Then they said it was, oh, this is a beta or
Yeah.
something, and then
Okay.
they delisted it. and
After people
now-
put money in it.
Yeah, it was kind of a mess.
Yeah.
But now it's out. I played it. I thought it was pretty fun.
That was the. I mean, people
Yeah.
seem to really like it. So
Yeah, it was a solid one of those.
but it's also one of those that requires other people to play it. Like
Yep.
you're going to want to play online with this, and you need a
It-
big community that's active.
Yeah.
And the question is always, is this going to be active?
I think the game's free to play, but
That helps.
I think that you buy characters and shit. So
Yeah.
maybe there is a chance to play. I might be wrong on that, but maybe there's a chance to play with some people that way.
I mean, the crossover stuff, like this game is doing even nuttier crossovers. Like, man, here's your Steven Universe fighting LeBron James shit. Like, there's some crazy things that are getting mashed together. So if you're up for that kind of stuff, this seems like a game that might pique your interest. And then finally, let's talk about Nine Souls, which is coming out May 29th. That's Souls, SOLS, not SOULS. That's coming to PC. This game is really pretty.
It's very pretty, but I don't think it's for
I love
me.
this art for sure.
Yeah.
It's got, I mean, just looking at the trailer, it kind of has that 2D Souls type of vibe.
It's
to
like a
it,
Dead Cells kind of
Mhm.
look.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I'm trying to think of some of the other games that I'm thinking of.
Blasphemous, maybe.
Blasphemous, Salt and Sanctuary, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Where I mean, a little bit of Hollow Knight, I suppose, is in there as well. Again,
It looks really
gorgeous.
cool.
I'm not a fan of the 2D Souls style kind of games, but this one just looks really pretty, and that might be enough. So we'll see. All right, boys, it is time to make some picks. Put your money where your mouth is. The games that you think are going to be good. The games that you think you're going to pick up. What do we got here? Why don't we start off with Bobby? What do you like? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be picking up Zillions because I loved what I saw from it. I'm getting Paper Mario. Hauntie's on Game Pass. I will be checking that out there. Animal Well I'm going to pick up, and I have V Rising, so I'll be going back to check out 1.0 when that hits.
Nice. I've also got Paper Mario and Animal Well. I feel like if I'm going to play Animal Well, I want to play it as early as possible before it's solved. Like I kind of want to be in that zeitgeisty time. And then Paper Mario, I need to right a wrong that has long been going.
Yes.
I've never played this game for real, so that'll be good. I think Zillions will be cool. I can see it being one that I pick up. But those two specifically are the ones that I'm really excited about. Johnny, what do you got?
Yeah. I also have Paper Mario. I have Animal Well. I'd like to check out Hellblade 2, and I will at least pay attention to what reviews they have to say about Homeworld.
All right.
Yeah, fair.
Well, that is the month of May. Looking forward to it. There's some pretty exciting games, and World of Final Fantasy Maximus. So it's
You're in for it
can't
now.
be a bad month, right?
Yep. Well, we've got a fun week planned ahead of all these things. Chase and I checked out a very weird game on Monday night called Buckshot Roulette. We've got some VODs of that out there that you can watch, but it's a really even more twisted version of Inscription. We also had I think Chase hates me for playing that game, by the way.
I don't hate you, but I'm
He does hate me for playing Rusty's Retirement with him, and a quick look, and that is up on Tuesday. That went up on Tuesday. You can check that out now. Tonight we told you about all those video games coming out in the month of May, and as we mentioned, we've got Children of the Sun going up tomorrow on our YouTube page, and come back Friday night where our friend Zoe joins us to play Deep Rock Galactic, and we'll get some Rock and Stone in. Chase, what do you have going on?
I got a couple things. I wrapped up Chase vs. Donkey Kong, my playthrough of Mario vs. Donkey Kong for the Nintendo Switch, originally a GBA game. I think it was good. I had a good time.
Cool.
They do just say, hey, here's like a challenge, do all the levels again, but now in a challenge mode, and then they also have like an extra set of levels that are specific bonus challenge levels. So that's why there were so many levels when we looked it up together. I'm not going to be playing those extra levels. I saw credits. I saw the name Charles Martinet, and I went, there you go. He was still Mario. I'm done. So I'm going to move on to a new game, which is going to be Advance Wars 2. I'm going to play the Switch version because that's the one I haven't played so far. So I'll play that on the channel. I know it's not a popular one, but that's what I'm going to do. So look forward to that on Chase Game Plays. And then, like Bobby mentioned, we've got a good friend of the show, Pierce Porshane, and he does another podcast with me called Pilot Program. We watch the first episodes of every television show ever made. Our last episode was on Jesus and Mara, the Viceland show, and our new episode, which is recording tomorrow, so it'll probably go up sometime this weekend, is going to be on One Punch Man, the anime brought by One. The author's name is One, and it's called One Punch Man. It's not confusing at all. You can check more about that at shows.acast.com/pilotprogram, and I'll let you know when that episode is out.
Awesome. And Johnny, what do you got going on?
Yeah. I have an interview I did with Alana Pierce going up tomorrow, which
Cool.
will be published if you're listening to the podcast version of this by Friday.
Hell yeah. Thank you everybody for hanging out. We will be back Friday